process. They created the study, they got out in the street and they talked with their coworkers, they talked with people that run the restaurants to find out what was going on. And one of our leaders for the last half a year is Kelly. So I'd like to invite you to come up and tell us what it's like out there.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I am a server in the restaurant industry, and I also work with ROC. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. Basically, I just want to talk a little bit about the things that go on behind the scenes in the industry as a server. I know a lot of people in here probably have experience with these things, but I mainly want to touch on paid sick days and the lack of benefits and how it affects a server. Basically, I can recall one particular instance where I felt sick at work, and I was afraid to say so because of repercussions. I work for an at-will employer, and if your reason for not being able to work doesn't seem appropriate to them, they can fire you with no explanation. That has happened to people in the past that I've worked with, and it's always a constant fear to know that you can lose your job for not, you really don't know why, they won't tell you, it's just a big mess, and it just seems like something that should be fixed. Going from that, when I finally decided to speak up the particular day that I felt sick, I told them I didn't feel comfortable working, and I was looked down upon by management, and I was made to feel obligated to work because of it. And oftentimes when you're on a shift, and for those of you who don't understand what a double shift is in the industry, you work long hours, sometimes from 10:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night. You do have a break in between usually, but oftentimes you don't want to leave where you're working because you know you have to be back at a certain time. So it's easiest to stay where your job is, so you don't have to worry about coming in late or being ready, not being ready for your next shift. So I remember throughout the day I started to feel sick, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. It's very rare that this happens, so I knew that there was something wrong, and I probably was like, oh, this is strange, I shouldn't be working right now. And I did have a stomach thing going on. I wasn't sure what it was. But as I was going on in my shift, I was like, wow, I really feel uncomfortable working right now. I should really say something. But I felt nervous because I knew I put other people out. It was just this, fight that I had. I can't put my managers in a position, of not having an employee tonight, but I need to go. You don't want to stand at a table and feel like you're going to get sick. It's kind of a really bad mix. So as the shift went on, I decided to just plow through, and I was fine, luckily. But these kinds of things happen all the time in the industry with employees. They have moments where they feel sick, or they come in work feeling sick, but they don't want to miss out on that day because they know they're going to miss out on a day of pay because of the lack of benefits. So I ended up working, and the reason why I decided to is because I was made to feel guilty. And second, because I knew that I would miss out on a day of pay. And I most recently was thinking about all this and all the paid sick days things, but I broke my wrist, and this was great timing. So I can talk about that. So I broke my wrist a few weeks ago, and I'm out of work for 6 weeks, and I'm a server. I can't work, and I don't have benefits. So this has been a really big issue for myself. I've also talked to my family about it, and they have to kind of help me out with it. It's making me feel really bad. Sorry. So it's been kind of a hard thing to deal with. It's not the end of the world, but it just seems unethical and kind of a no-brainer that you wouldn't have someone able to be taken care of for 6 weeks. And I don't have pay right now because of it, and I can't work, and I have to depend on my mom and dad for that. And I feel terrible asking them for the help, but I don't have a choice, I don't think. And it just makes me feel terrible to have to ask them. And I know that other people go through this, and they get into positions where they don't know what to do, and it's something I think really needs to be fixed. And obviously I wasn't expecting to break my wrist, and I was asked to talk about these things before that even happened. So when it happened, I was like, oh, all right, now I can talk about how that stings. I can't imagine what it would be like for someone who doesn't have a family to rely on to help them through something like this. And like I said, I feel like there's really not any other choice but to ask them for help because